Hello guys and girls, how's it going? Screezilla here and I hope you're all well, and you join me today for a game of World of Warships in the Surrey. HMS Surrey, of course, the British heavy cruiser from the new heavy cruiser line, another county class cruiser. Ooh, anyone would think county classes were the most common class of cruiser for the British Navy in the war. Strange, isn't it? Anyway, the Surrey is part of the Norfolk class. Only two of these were made, the Norfolk and Dorsetshire. They formed the Norfolk class. The Surrey was actually meant to be laid down along with the Northumberland back in around 1928, and they were basically a repeat of the London class with a few changes, mainly the bridge structure, slightly better 8-inch guns on board, had a few relocations of things like the 4-inch guns, the catapult for the observation plane / spotter plane. It was a little bit lower down, so it was a little bit less prone to damage from naval waves and stuff like that. So, you know, little bits and bobs like that. So, you know, a few little cool, handy bits to make things a little bit easier. So, it also had a... initially, it was being tested with the 7-inch rockets as well, which were... pretty sure they were the anti-air rockets. Yeah, the anti-aircraft rockets, which basically would send up a huge rocket and then it would explode into much shrapnel and flak and stuff like that. There were 7-inch rockets, I think. So relatively big chunky boys, and they were kind of cool. They were on things like the King George and many of the other ships a little bit later on in the service of the Royal Navy. The good thing about this ship is it's got some decent anti-aircraft guns to it. So that's one of the big things about these British heavy cruisers, is they've got like a really decent AA rating to them. They're pretty strong, they're pretty durable, and they've got some pretty good fire chances as well. We're just here eating away at this Nagato at the moment, trying to get some shells on target. And as you can see, we're getting a few good hits with our 203mm guns. Yeah. 8-inch 203mm guns. I hate going between the different classes of guns, and we're taking out a few things like the AA and stuff like that. The Nagato just took out Algeria. Why do I keep calling it Algier? We've got a New Orleans coming around as well, so I'm just keeping an eye on that guy because it might come round and try and sneak into there. But we've got this Nagato to deal with, so we're going to keep trying to set fires on that guy, and also keeping an eye on our left flank here. Now, with the Surrey class, with the Surrey in the game, and generally with the British heavy cruisers, you've got to be a bit careful because they're decently armoured, but they're not uber armoured. They're not the best armour in the game. You know, they're not going to be surviving huge hits to the broadside. You know, not that any cruiser does really, but their citadel is a little bit exposed, I find. They tend to take a lot of damage pretty quickly. We're going to launch our torpedoes here for the ship coming to our left, the New Orleans. And then we're just going to try and get back onto that Nagato and just chipping away, just keeping an eye on that guy. But the Sinnoh has managed to delete the New Orleans there. Not surprising with the Sinnoh. They generally do that. We get some shots off on the Nagato, but will they hit? No, just hit as he dies. Of course they do. So we did some good damage there, 17k damage, not a huge amount, but enough just to chip away. Also, just chipping away a little bit as we go. Now, we've got the Scharnhorst Black version and another Algeria coming around to the left, so it's time to start looking around, see what we can do for this match. There's an Atlanta coming in as well, that's getting a lot of damage. we're pretty much hidden here. Nobody knows our position yet. We've not really been spotted or anything like that, so we're quite safe at the moment. And it's just working out what to do. So just keeping an eye on things, and yeah, just working out our best approach to attack now. Where we've just lost a couple of our own ships, which is not good. We're in a bit of a bad position at the moment. They have one extra ship over us and two extra ships now. We're really getting a big spanking on the right hand side. Down towards A, we're really getting slaughtered. But the Nagato just slaughtered the Scharnhorst B there, Scharnhorst Black Edition. So we know there's an Atlanta in the decap, and there is also that Algeria, but we're not sure what else is there, so we're going to start cruising around. Now, in this match we had no aircraft carriers and no destroyers, which means we're kind of in this spot where we have to act as kind of a very large, obvious destroyer, and the Shores has just been spotted there. Beautiful. We're going to launch some HE at that and try and set it on fire. The Russian cruiser, of course, so we'll try our best to cause some damage, and we'll get that all out and get a couple of good hits, and sort of just going to sit here for a moment, just take stock of what's going on, just try and keep on target, get some good damage. You do get some good damage with these HE shells as well. They're actually pretty potent things, as you'd expect from a 203mm gun. They have some good penetration, and you know, you're generally going to do some good damage with them. They don't shatter too much. They're pretty handy. Now we're going to have to start heading around, because that Shores has been just got behind the island. Now there's the Atlanta there, so we're just going to have to start dealing with this guy. So we're going to try and get all of our guns to bear as we come around the island and work out our shot, and off we go. Get some shells in the air, but the Sinnoh deleted the Atlanta, which is kind of the story of my match, really. Chipping away at the enemy and just doing, you know, just spotting and stuff, and then the Sinnoh coming around and, you know, deleting everything it can. Now we've just lost our King George V, which is not good. We're not in the best position right now. We're kind of similar team matchups, and now we're down another ship. Yeah, we're not looking in the best position right now. We've kind of got 3 ships down this end of the map, and we've got 1 right at the far end. We've got 3 battleships and 1 cruiser. We get a fire on that Algeria, which is good. That's what we wanted to do. Now that Shores is going to come around at some stage. We've got to keep an eye on that guy, and we're also going to watch out because of torpedoes. Because it does have torpedoes, but luckily they're Russian torpedoes. So as long as we stay about, you know, 2 kilometers away from it, we're pretty much safe. So it comes around the corner, fires a load of AP at us. Shame we didn't have our AP loaded. Now this here is a bit of a, you know, a bit of a hard place, because I've got two cruisers either side of me, so I have to sort of angle the best I can with both of them. Now could try and use the torpedoes, but the Sinnoh deletes the Shores. So we're going to spin round, and now the Algeria is there. Now that Shores will have definitely got torpedoes off on us. We luckily disabled the Algeria's torpedoes, and here they come, and they run out of steam. Oh, Russian torpedoes, you are so terrible. I did actually turn a little bit because I was expecting it to actually cop a couple of those. I thought, oh, well, that's it, that's my game over, but luck was with me for a change. So switch to AP right now for the Algeria, and we get a broadside off, and we're a little bit short, but we do get a citadel, so we get a nice large amount of damage there. Here comes the torpedoes from the Algeria, and I pop the hydro on this thing. Now I really recommend taking hydro on this thing because it is very useful. It's got a really long duration time as well. Fantastic hydro. So right now I was wishing I'd just kept the AP shells, because I could really have punished this guy with AP, but unfortunately we're stuck with HE shells. The loading is a bit long on this thing, so we're angled a bit, so we shouldn't take too much damage, but we're still going to take a fair bit through the front. So we get another round of HE off, he gets a couple of rounds of AP, and that's it. So we now can't shoot at each other because there's an island in the way, and the Sinnoh destroys the Algeria. As I said, the tail of my game is basically this Sinnoh destroys. So right now we've got to win this match, and we're down on, we're up on points, sorry, we're not too bad, but they've got 3 battleships down in A, we've got 2 battleships and myself in D, and 1 battleship out in the middle of nowhere that's going to be quite exposed to the enemy. Basically, there's a Nagato out there that's doing a good job of sort of keeping, sorry, water break there, of keeping things down, but it's sort of in a not the best position, and it's probably going to get a bit slapped because it's going to have to show broadside to possibly 3 enemy battleships, which is not what you want. One of them is a King George, the other is a Gneisenau. No, it's not Gneisenau. Trying to think which ones they were now. The Ashitake and then Nagato. Yeah, Nagato, that was the other one. Yeah. So we're looking good. So going to go in and we're going to jump into C. So, sorry, into D. And we've got our battleships coming with us. So I'm going to lead and basically just do spotting. They're capping A, so we know they're in A. So we're good for this. And things are not looking too bad at the moment. We're up on points. We're going to have the same amount of capture points as well, which is good. And we're also going to be able to take on C. So I'm going to head straight there now, set course, sail straight through a buoy, as you can in real life, of course. And we're going to go and look at the C cap, see if we can do anything there, and see if anyone's lurking there. But it looks like all 3 of their battleships are over by A. So I ask the Nagato, the friendly Nagato, to try and protect B there, sort of do as much as it can. Bit of a newer player though, so wasn't 100% confident, but did some good damage in the game and did a good job of actually keeping the enemy off centre. Now we've got the Sinnoh right behind us, which is, you know, typical. It's a very, very slow ship. There's King George and the Ashitake out there, and the Ashitake has got a lot of guns on it, and the King George is the King George, of course. A very, very decent ship with many, many big guns, with a set of triple on the front or quadruple turret. I'm trying to think now off the top of my head. I think it's a quadruple turret on the front, and then a twin turret at the front as well, super firing position. But a lot of big ass guns on it basically. So we know we're pretty much safe for A, and I'm going to be pretty safe firing from here as well, so I'm going to probably pop a spotter plane up in a moment, and we're going to start firing. It's the King George there. As you can see, just getting all of those shells off and really hammering the poor Nagato out there that's got sort of caught in a bit of a bad spot, really. But we're going to try and get some shots off in a moment, because very nice hit there by our Nagato, actually. And we're going to go for the Ashitake, because it's pretty much broadside onto us, so we're going to launch our good old HE shells at it and try and cause some fire and try and disrupt them as well. That's the main thing. So we get 1 fire with 1 hit. That's a good start to things. They've got no guns heading towards us, which is good, and we're kind of looking good. It does slow down a bit, so that second salvo does go a little bit short, but starting to speed up again now, so we're going to fire again and just try and get a few shots off. This is going to be probably our last salvo here. We get second fire, which is good. Fire again, and will we get anything this time round? Oh, it's looking like we might get a couple on the back. We get a couple of penetrations, 1 penetration and 1 non-penetration, and fire off 1 last round, just in case. So now we've got to go to A, and there's 2 battleships out there and they've got 3 of them, so well, we could be in a spot of bother here. So, depending on which way the enemy Nagato is pointing its guns, could be good for us or could be bad for us. Now, I'm going to try and go around a little bit, not get too close, and try and keep away. And I've got the Gneisenau coming up behind me. Gneisenau or Scharnhorst? Which one was it? I think it's Gneisenau, isn't it? Yeah, Gneisenau coming up to the right, and it's going to pop out between the two islands in that spot there. So we're going to come around and try and get behind this island, and then try and get behind the enemy battleship, and hopefully we won't have its guns pointing at us. And that's what I'm hoping for right now. It's if its guns aren't pointing at us, we can get into a decent torpedo range and annihilate it pretty quickly. So we're going to scoot around this island any minute now, and we're going to spot something, I'm sure. There we go, we're detected and they're detected. So there's the Nagato, and its guns are pointing away from us. That's a good start. So we fire off some HE shells, try and get some hits and some fires. We only get one penetration, of course. But we're in a good position because it's going to be firing at the Gneisenau now. So we're pretty safe. Try for a shot over this, but yeah, we don't really get anything, which is a shame. But we're doing okay right now. We've got to get around this island, so I'm just checking with torpedoes, seeing which way the Nagato is moving, because if it's moving towards me, if it's steaming my direction, that could be dangerous. If it's sort of going away from us, then we might be okay. And the friendly Nagato is finally deleted, so it's just us versus them, 3 on 3 right now. But their battleships are so out of position now that they don't really have much of a chance. So we're going to shoot off some more HE. We get 6 nice hits there, nice amount of damage, which is what we like to see. We've set a fire as well. Our secondaries are lighting up too, but so is his secondaries. So we're going to get some damage here because it's got some fairly hefty secondaries to it, the Nagato. So that's not main battery fire, that is all secondary fire just there. You know, that's dangerous stuff, and now he's swinging around his main turrets. So we're going to have to try and go front on, angle slightly. The positioning of him gets in the wrong place, that gives the Gneisenau a good position, and we get the rest of the kill with torpedoes. So unfortunately, the Gneisenau did chip off a nice big amount of health, and the Sinnoh almost got the kill. So we got that, and we're going to cap, and that's pretty much the game right there, because the enemy can't do anything other than try and cap B. We have got a huge points advantage now because we have all the caps, and we managed to get some good kills as well. So not the worst game ever, but not anything spectacular either. I mean, it's not going to be the most spectacular game of World Warships, but we had some good teamwork, and that was very, very handy. The Sinnoh and Gneisenau really helped out a lot there. Really did a good job of keeping sort of everyone in place, and well, that's it really. So we'll head to the post-battle screen results. And with that, we've got the end of the match. Now, not the most impressive game I'm sure anyone's ever seen, but I'm pretty chuffed with that one. Only got 1 kill in the end. Took a bit of risk at the end there with the Nagato just coming around there. I knew I was going to get in trouble there, but I was pretty sure I'd be fine on it. 6 fires in the end, 1 kill, 1 flooding, 1 citadel. Could have probably got more citadels on the Le Glacier, I think it was, or whichever cruiser it was. The Algier, yeah, the Algeria. I could probably got a few more citadels, but it was kind of angly, and then I had to switch. So yeah, not bad. 77 hits, almost 80,000 damage. Not going to set the world alight, but finished second in the team. Pretty happy with that. Nagato up there did a really good job of soaking up damage and just sort of keeping the flanks done. The Sinnoh just absolutely murdered everybody, almost got a Kraken unleashed. Good job for them. Really nice amount of work. So yeah, that's, really just managed to just scoop up all of the damaged stuff. And their two battleships at the end, they sort of just didn't... Well, they were in the wrong spot at the wrong time, obviously. Let's look at the detailed report quickly. And as you can see, we did some good damage there. So only 17 to the Nagato. Well, which Nagato was it? We did 17 damage. Well, we did 17,000 damage to both Nagatos. Only 19 to the Algeria, and then the Ashitake, 16, and then 8,000 to the Shores. Played it a little bit careful, just trying to keep in the spot there because I thought there were going to be a few more ships pushing to my left when I was watching torpedoes earlier in the match. And then obviously, money-wise, ended up with 244,000. So not bad at all. Pretty chuffed with that, and some decent experience. So with that, let's just head back to port. I'm really enjoying the British heavy cruisers. Actually, they're pretty much tough brawlers. They're good all-rounders. Decent ships for punching decent damage. They've got a good HE amount as well. HE wise, if we look at the actual fire chances, we've got a 19% chance of causing fire. Now I do have, do I? Yes, I do have Demolition Expert on there, so I do have a slightly bigger chance of setting fire to things. Not sure what I'm going to go for next. I might go for the considered possibly torpedo armament as the top skill, but in all honesty, I'm probably going to go for massive anti-air just because it's very useful. Maybe concealment expert. The ship is not the stealthiest ship, but it's not bad on concealment. It could do better. Sort of, it's pretty obvious. Being a county class, being a heavy cruiser, obviously it is. Superintendent might be a useful one just to give you an extra charge of everything, but in all honesty, if you're using premium items, you won't really need it, so it's not overly needed. It can be useful, but not so much. Or maybe basic fire training just for the anti-air, because you do have quite a few 102mm guns, and you've got a few anti-air guns. Where am I? AA defense is what I wanted to go for. So you've got a couple of the Acrylian, or Orlicon, sorry, I always mispronounce that. You've got a couple of pom-poms, the Vickers 40mm, and then some 102mm guns as well. So you've got a good range of anti-air, and having that slightly better anti-air damage could be quite useful, because this thing is a decent plane killer. It's very good at killing planes. 4 modules, you can actually take out the if you don't have hydro, you can take the defensive fire, which is really useful, but honestly I think hydro is better to have as an all-rounder because it's got more use. Also, it's a really long hydro charge, so very, very good. And we're not far off actually getting the Albemarle. Yeah, so 20k off getting that research point wise, but need a few more million credits to actually get it, so got to grind a little bit there. But yeah, the British heavy cruisers are really fantastic, and I've really been enjoying playing them. It's been damn good fun, and it's really been helping me get through this Science of Victory tree. Been sort of charging along there quite well with the tasks. So you want to pop that again, because yeah, that's the easiest way to get this. Is, free XP is not hard to get. You get that in a couple of matches. 750 free XP is just like, yeah, okay, that's just going to get me through this pretty quickly. we'll just open up a container. Oh, we got 2 containers from that one match. That's pretty decent. We'll go for credits because that's kind of what I need at the moment. Let's see if we get anything decent. But other than that, that's it really. Just wanted to chat about that and let everybody know what's going on. Got Fairy Barracuda, nice. More for the actual collection for the British Carrier collection thingy, and a few lions and a deer symbol. Hooray! We can now have a deer, or is it a doe? A deer, a female deer. Oh, and another collectible. Actually, I was just like, wait, what is that? That's a collectible for the, of course, the Naval Air Squadron. The what do you call it? The Fleet Air Arm, and of course the Fairy Barracuda there. Absolutely terrible plane, like most British carrier planes. But yeah, so all in all, really am enjoying the British heavy cruiser line. They're pretty damn fun, and the Devonshire as well is decent as well for its ability. So yeah, really am enjoying it. So I will catch you all next time. Thanks for watching. This is me, Carl Screezilla, out. Bye bye.